who have faltered a little bit in their last 5 games. Started off super strong, but now are now fighting for that third place spot. So for now we see LeBlanc and Tryndamere banned away on the side of GMR, whereas Shyvana and Varus are the first 2 bans on the side of the Shrignews. Wayne and Jamin being targeted right here with the Shyvana and Varus pickup, whereas Tryndamere and LeBlanc will be targeted towards Isaac and Josh Lee. So a lot of targeted towards that side lane for both the solo lanes, as we also see a Zac ban finishing this draft up. So for finishing the first phase of the bans up for GMR. GMR wanted blue side this game, so I'm expecting to see a pretty strong first pickup here. And we have Anthony in that first pick slot, as Olaf is the next jungler that gets banned away. The Mundo is still left up right now for the jungle of GMR. Definitely a comfort pick for them, and leaving that up is definitely pretty dangerous. But we will see if Anthony decides to pick that up in the first phase of this pick phase. And there it is. That Mundo will be picked up for the side of GMR, putting Minkyu onto one of his most comfortable champions. We've seen him dominate the jungle as this Dr. Mundo, and seeing him against Eric, who is a little bit of a lower in-game rank as of now. It will be safe. I think it's safe to say that Mundo will be a good pickup here. As we see Rek'Sai being followed up for Eric. This is the first for the Shrignews. This is the first time they played a jungler other than Zac and Warwick, I think. So seeing this Rek'Sai pick up, definitely a change of playstyle, going for those heavy early game ganks, probably trying to snowball some of those lanes on the sides of the Shrignews. Getting those solo laners ahead will be very important in this game. As we see Ezreal being the next lock-in here. Kajos on his signature Ezreal. We've seen him prioritize this over the Kai'Sa as of late, so shows that he has a lot of confidence in this champion. And there's the Rek'Sai Ezreal are the first people picked away for the Shrignews. Let's see what GMR pick in the second phase. They hovered the Rakan for a while, but decided to go with the set here. Dicho definitely capable of playing that set support, but could also go to that top lane. We're not entirely sure where that's going. Could be pretty flexible, but with Wayne picking next, I'm pretty sure we'll see another top lane pickup, maybe even Garen. So that Garen was also left unbanned. And it's going to be Sylas instead of the Garen. So Wayne also opting out of his one of his strongest champions, deciding to go with a Sylas pickup here in the top lane, needing some extra magic damage, it seems, for now. And here we'll have Zhao Li finalizing this first phase of the draft, trying to decide what to counter this Sylas with. Got a lot of options here, but he's going to go with this Renekton. Renekton definitely good. Sylas has a much weaker early game than Renekton, I believe, in the top lane. So hopefully Josh will be able to snowball this lead on one of his most comfortable champions and help him take down Wayne in the top lane. So that's going to do it for the first 3 picks on each side. So far, liking the comps of both teams, but with the 80 carries and 80 carry and mid still left to pick for GMR, and for support and mid lane still being picked for Shrignews. Lots of picks left, lots of champions to be taken up. As we continue in the ban phase, we see Ashe and Orianna being taken away respectively. Jamin getting targeted here a little bit with that Ashe and Varus ban away. Vayne is still left available. Don't know if he's going to take it into this Ezreal lane, but another Diana ban will round out the draft here. Meanwhile, on the side of GMR, they're going to ban away that Orianna signature pick of Isaac. And it basically, at this point, doesn't look like Isaac can really play that Yasuo. So it looks like, due to the composition of the teams already, so it looks like they're going to try and force him onto a different AP champion that he's not as comfortable with, seeing that the Fizz and Orianna were the first 2 bans. The final 2 bans of GMR. Now we have Charlie picking right here for the side of the Shrignews. Going to see what support he picks up here. It's going to be a Karma. So Karma probably going to be used to try and poke out like this set lane here And we'll see what Jamin responds with here. As long as the first mid lane pick of the draft coming up very shortly, we're going to see Tristana being hovered for Jamin at the moment, but we're not sure if that's going to be the final lock-in. That Vayne again is still left available, but it looks like he's going to be locking in Jinx here. That is something that we have not seen out of Jamin so far, but definitely has a lot of late game carry potential. And it looks like they're just going to decide which mid laner to pick right now. That Mordekaiser is still up for Anthony, so wouldn't be surprised if they take that here. And there it is. So we have Mordekaiser in the middle lane. Don't know exactly what can really counter that on the side of the Strignus. But Isaac is definitely a formidable opponent here in the mid lane. And it looks like he's going to be hovering that Yasuo. Will put a lot of attack damage on the side of the Strignus if he picks it up, but probably would be a pretty favorable matchup against this Mordekaiser lane. Not sure, but we're going to see it probably locked in here, and it is. I wouldn't have been surprised to see something like an Azir instead for Isaac, but it looks like we're going to go with this 480 threat team on the side of the Strignus. Playing against this Mundo in the jungle, it might be a little bit risky to pick that right now, with all things considered. So, looking at the drafts of both sides, it looks like, aside from like the Moon, they'll have them. So I feel like GMR will have the Mundo, kind of controlling the jungle in the early game, trying to control the jungle in the early game over this Rek'Sai. But the rest of the team is very focused on the late game. I think you have the Sylas, Jinx, and Mordekaiser going to be doing a lot of work in these team fights. Mordekaiser also a very strong laner, but I do like the team fighting comps of that team. Meanwhile, on the side of the Strignus, we have this Renekton, we have this Yasuo, definitely solid 1-3-1 options, but we've seen GMR, we've seen the Strignus like to fight these big 5v5 team fights, and so I think with the right setup, they will be able to finish this off. They do have that Rek'Sai to knock up in conjunction with the Yasuo, so we are going to head into a bit of a spectator delay here before we go into this game. Last time these teams met, actually, if I'm going to check that right now, GMR took the win in 32 minutes. Honestly, yeah, let's watch some. We can watch some highlights of this game and see what exactly happened. So, looking at the team comps, this was that Renekton versus Shyvana game that Wayne first brought out, which was just huge, honestly. That was one of the biggest surprises that we've seen, the Shyvana top lane. And we look at the team comps here, we do see that Mordekaiser mid being played. This was that game that Isaac developed a pretty decent lead on the Fizz, but it was not enough to finish off the game. So this Olaf also kind of took a lot of control over in this jungle. And if we look here, there's a big team fight right here, if you want to watch it, I guess. So it looks like things are going alright for now, and then I think there's a fight that erupts here that's going to be an ace for GMR. So we see a TP here from Josh Lee, and it looks like, so this game was decided pretty early. I think a lot of the lanes, the top jungle difference was pretty big for the side of GMR in this game. So we're going to see if Josh Lee and Eric can try and bring some of that back. I know that Josh Lee was a bit disappointed in his performance in that last game. So just seeing these two teams face off right now, definitely going to be interesting, as it basically determines who gets to play the loser of this next game of CKK versus SKT. And honestly, I feel like all the teams here are relatively evenly matched. So I don't think the tiebreakers make that much of a difference, but definitely a good confidence booster to win eventually. As you go further into the playoffs, getting another win under your belt, definitely important. So it will be interesting to see how this game turns out. We do have a couple seconds left on the spectator delay, so we will be getting to the game shortly. But yeah, we hope you're all having a good time here at the THSCS. Yeah. Make sure to tune in on Monday. Actually, we could take a look at the playoff bracket right now. So this is a tentative playoff bracket for now. As you can see here, the 1 and 2 seeds both get buys in their games. I'm going to scroll down so you guys can see the full thing. And then the 4 and 5 seeds will play on Monday at around 3, and the 3 and 6 seeds will play on right after that at around 6 p.m. So be ready to tune in for a lot of League of Legends on your Memorial Day. But again, if your team cannot make it for these days, please let us know, and we will find a way to reschedule it. We do have Tuesday off and open for now, as well as Friday, so we will be able to move things around just a little bit. And then also on top of that, the winner of that will play in the semifinals taking place on Wednesday and Thursday, both at 8 p.m. We'll have a grand final on Saturday, 6 p.m. ish, along with that third place match. We're planning on making a pretty big show for you guys for these final days of the THSCS. So stay tuned for any surprises that you guys might see as we go forward into the season. So we put the finishing touches on the inaugural season of the THSCS, and we hope that you guys all everyone watching found this as a enjoyable way to spend some of your time here in quarantine. We know this is obviously not what a lot of our seniors would be wanting to do right now. I should be enjoying my prom weekend at this moment, but we hope that this is a little bit of recompense for the unfortunate circumstances that we've ended up in. So we hope that from all of us here at the THSCS, we hope that you're having a good time. So we are into game right now. I think we're about to. I'm going to try and move some stuff around and make sure that everything's good to go. And we are on to Summoner's Rift right now. So get ready for this third place game. I mean, for this battle for the third seed between GMR and Shrignews. So we're going to see a level 1. We do know that GMR enjoys on this Mundo. They like stacking 5 men into that topside river and having Mundo steal that Raptor camp into the red buff invade to start it off. It looks like we're going to see 5v5 again. Shrignews might have a bit of oh gosh, it's gonna have a bit of a PTSD here, but it looks like Mundo's actually gonna get chunked out pretty early, and Jowli's gonna pick up the first blood onto the Mundo. He's going to fall in return, and Wayne is on the wrong side of this. Crimson Haze will pick up another kill onto Wayne Silas. It is now 2 for 1 in favor of the Shrignews, but it looks like GMR is looking for more. Isaac and Cages are both really low health, and it looks like Jamin and Anthony are going to look in to try and trade it back a little bit more, but it's not going to be enough. And it looks like you got first blood and another kill on the Shrignews. That is definitely a worth trade to start this off. You have Josh Lee now with an extra Ruby Crystal to start off lane. Definitely something that you want to see on your Renekton. So good trade so far on the early game. It doesn't look like Mundo. It looks like Mundo, despite dying, will try to come back and try to invade this Raptor camp. But I think the Shrignews have done their research a little bit. They see that ward. They see Josh Lee on that ward here. So it looks like Mickey will have to have a bit of an alternate approach to this lane, as he's going to have to start on his own Raptor camps here, as Eric finishes off this red buff here. So very, very different approach. And GMR, they had this strategy, and it looks like the Shrignews just figured out what they were trying to do, and they ended up capitalizing on it. So good work towards the Shrignews here. We're gonna see Eric go straight to his blue buff to make sure that doesn't get stolen as well. Maybe going for that wolf camp first. But yeah, for now, looks pretty promising for the Shrignews right now. Have that early kill lead, about a 400 gold lead, just 2 minutes into the game. A lot of that is onto onto that Rek'Sai and Renekton, who each put up a starting item, whereas Jamin started this lane with boots. Early trades going on in the bot lane. It looks like Minky opts into clearing his entire bot side, and now is looking to invade or just pick up that machete and go towards the top side jungle. So definitely a different start from what we were used to on the side of the GMR jungler. But yeah, so it looks like he wasn't able to get that insane lead that he was able to get in our last match. So in the last time that this Mundo was pulled out for the side of GMR. So he will be able to full clear this. It will still be ahead of Rek'Sai in terms of like clearing power and like and items, just for the moment. But we see Rek'Sai doing her entire bot side, but missing those Raptors and Krugs, whereas it looks like Minkyu will be doing a full clear into that top Scuttle Crab. So on top of, so despite the not winning that early game skirmish in the top lane, looks like GMR will be ahead a little bit in gold eventually after Minkyu finishes the Gromp. But those camps are still available for Eric in the jungle, so he will be able to go back to them eventually. See Jowly placing an aggressive ward onto that Mundo, spotting him out. Will not be able to kill him, of course, but now they have knowledge of GMR jungler being on the top side crab. So Josh Lee played this Renekton last time against GMR, but is not against the Shyvana this time. It's going to be against his Sylas. I do think that Wayne's Shyvana is a little bit better than his Sylas in the games that we've seen so far, so it will be interesting to see. He has run out of mana, but it looks like Jowly cannot be fighting in this minion wave. Wayne still has his corrupting potions to bring his mana bar back up for the rest of this lane, so looks like he will not be in that much trouble so far. And it's right now, after that early game, after that early fight, it looks like things have kind of calmed down a little bit. Isaac playing very aggressively into Anthony's Mordekaiser, has a 10 CS lead. We saw him win lane against Anthony in another game in the last time that they played, but now it looks like he actually might be getting solo killed here. No, that's not true. Anthony went for a really aggressive trade under the wave of Isaac, and Isaac just completely dominated that, taking that first kill, solo kill in the mid lane. Some more aggressive trades by Jowly. He's gonna have to win this laning phase pretty hard in order to have that power that he needs to carry this team towards the mid and late game. So definitely off to a good start right now. Has that early buy, and it looks like he is up a couple of minions, and we might see a gank in the top lane. Eric is there. I don't know if they have vision of him actually, but now they do. It looks like a knockup's going to land onto Wayne, but he has a lot of heal with that W. It's not going to be enough though, as Eric picks up that kill. That's his second kill of the fight of the game. But in return, looks like GMR decides to go for that first dragon. It's going to be the Infernal going up for GMR. So Minkyu takes that down in return. So so far it looks like Strignews are up about 1.3k gold, but GMR did pick up that dragon and already you see a 3 camp lead on this Mundo over this Rek'Sai so far. So far, bot lane is farming, but Jamin has developed a significant CS lead over KJS and Charlie here. About 18 already. So, looks to be a pretty dominant lane right now. And it looks like we're going to see an aggressive trade here in the bot lane. Good stun onto Jicho with that E. Making sure to poke him out. No summoner spells used in that mid lane yet. Meanwhile, in this top lane, in this mid lane, we're going to see a bit of a battle here. Ultimate pop by Mordekaiser to save him against Isaac Yasuo, but it looks like it won't really be able to do much. Also, is definitely one of those signature champions on Isaac Lee, one of his most played champs for this platinum mid laner. And it looks like Minkyu will be going aggressively into the jungle of Rek'Sai right now. We see Eric making a gank towards the bot lane, but it's not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to find anything, as the backs are going to finish off in time. And meanwhile, his entire red side is getting destroyed by Minkyu. Raptors and red buff are now killed. So we talked about him not getting it on the first rotation, but he did end up taking those camps in the second rotation, as his entire bot side is down, and he's going to figure that out very shortly, as he sees there. But it looks like we're going to see another trade in the top lane. Ultimates are going to be popped by both members of the top lane of this fight, and it looks like Josh is going to dash in, but good heals out of Wayne right now. Does have that Q empowered Fury empowered Q to heal up, and it looks like Wayne is going to be running for the hills a little bit. He does have that W. That is still so much healing off that W, and it looks like Mundo will be here to contest. It looks like Josh Lee's going to pick up that kill onto the Sylas, but here comes the rest of Strignews. GMR might have brought 1, but the Strignews brought 2, and that's another kill towards that Rek'Sai. So despite being behind in farm a little bit, this Rek'Sai has picked up his 3rd kill of the game, and Eric is looking pretty strong right now. So far, top side of the map is looking very good for the Strignews, while the bot side could be in trouble here actually. KJS is going to get bursted out a little bit. Heal is going to get popped, and flash in by Jamin to secure the kill. That is going to be a solo, like a 2v2 kill in this bot lane for GMR. So while the top side of the Strict News could be considered winning right now, this bottom lane of Jinx and Set are destroying this Ezreal Karma early on. So we're going to see if this bot lane can be the ones to carry this game early on. Jamin is of course one of the lower ranks of the GMR team, along with Anthony, but looks like so far he is in the last game and in this one he's kind of putting the team on his back a little bit. Some more aggressive trades in the top lane. Wayne does a lot of healing with that W, has it maxed out right now, so he's gonna be able to get in for some very good trades with that heal on that W. So and it looks like he has maintained the CS lead. We're gonna see another trade in the mid lane here. Ultimate are available for both champions. Ultimate's gonna get popped by both of them. Ignite's gonna be on Isaac, and he might actually fall here, and he does, so very close, but it looks like Isaac will fall in the mid lane to Anthony here. Meanwhile, we're gonna see another trade in the top lane. Charlie with a failed flash, you hate to see it, and Daniel Cho is gonna pick up a kill onto this Karma, and Kajos is also running for the hills as we speak. So another kill going in favor to GMR in this bot lane. Despite the lead top lane and the ganks that this Rek'Sai has been able to pull off, it looks like Isaac getting solo killed was pretty huge there. He's going to pick up the early executioners, try to reduce some of that healing that this Mordekaiser has. So maybe that won't happen again, but definitely a pretty unfortunate sight to see now. So looks like Josh Lee might actually be caught out here a little bit in this top side jungle. Minkyu once again just brutally invading every single moment that he gets of this top side jungle of the Shrig News, taking those Krugs once again, and Josh was able to zone him out, but just by a little bit. So right now we've seen the gold actually go in favor of GMR by a little bit, just about 600. So right now it looks like GMR have taken a little bit of control. We saw Strict News with the early lead, but have now fallen a little bit behind. We see a two-man push into this tower, trying to get that wave shoved into the tower of Strict News while GMR try to go for this Baron. Meanwhile, Jamin is going to just solo kill Kajos in that bot lane. Just doing so much damage on that Jinx. The slow of the W combined with the ultimate was enough to take him down, and that's going to be second dragon for GMR. They're going to pick up this Cloud Dragon as we speak, and I think I don't think Trig News are going to be in a position to contest this right now. We're going to see some more action back and forth here. Charlie's kind of alone right now in this bot lane. Could be diveable if Mickey decides that it's worth it, but it looks like he's just going to settle for taking more camps in Eric's jungle. Definitely did invade, but it looks like we might actually see a dive here. Ultimate gonna be popped early by Mickey to get that early healing in, and a good ult by Daniel. It's gonna ult Karma right into that Ezreal, and they're gonna pick up 2 kills on the Shrig News bot lane. So far, we see Minkyu again. This Mundo's just so strong. Has 100 CS by the 12-minute mark. So despite not getting that super early lead that he got early against TP with that early invade, is going to be super strong. Already has a Cinderella picked up. Definitely has a lot of gold in his pocket, about 2,000 at the moment. So it'll be really interesting to see what kind of items he decides to pick up. Has a 1,000 gold lead over Eric right now, despite Eric having 3 kills. So yeah, as we see here, the gold is mostly focused. The gold lead is mostly focused in this bot lane and jungle right now. Josh and Isaac both have slight leads to counteract the gold of the other players, but it looks like right now, it looks like so far the GMR bot and jungle have a much bigger gold lead. Ito, I do agree. Ray and POA should be playing right now. You know, just some unfortunate circumstances that happened yesterday resulted in this happening instead. But, you know, it's okay. We'll all get through this. I mean, obviously, POA. We had our performances, and that's that. So that's why I'm casting and not playing right now. So Anyway, we're gonna see another aggressive gank being put on in the mid lane. Anthony does have the ultimate, but it looks like they might be able to one-shot him before the ultimate does take effect. Eric is going to ult in to save, to become untargetable for a second and get that good damage out to Anthony, and he picks up his 4th kill of the game. This Rek'Sai is still putting a lot of pressure on the map despite being down about 60 CS right now. So Josh is getting some aggressive trades here in the top lane, but it's not really been able to capitalize too much on his early lead so far. So it will be interesting to see if Josh can continue to get a couple kills and maybe try and amp up his lead a little bit more. We're going to see the Rift Herald being spawned in the mid lane by this Mundo. Not going to be able to take the turret, I think, unless the rest of the Shrigners don't come up to respond, and it looks like it's going to be really slow to it. Minky might actually be able to take this tower down. So that is going to be first tower for this Mundo, picking up even more gold for himself. Gold lead is now at around 3,500 in favor of GMR, and it looks like second tower might also be taken down in the bot lane, as it looks like Charlie might also be in trouble. He's going to be forced to flash, but Jamin is going to flash after him again, and that final auto is going to finish him off. 3-0 and 3 on this bot lane. So Shrigners are going to have to rely a lot on this Rek'Sai and Renekton combo, and even Isaac too in this mid lane. They're going to have to rely on the top side of their map to try to carry the bot lane into this mid late game so far, but it's not looking too hot for them right now. GMR have just been on such a hot streak after their 0-3 start, but we are going to see a pause here. It looks like the Mundo did end up disconnecting from the game, which is a bit unfortunate, but we're going to try and get back into the game as soon as possible. Yeah, once again, this is the THSCS. We're 15 minutes into the game now, and we see that the Shrigners have a 4,500 gold lead. Actually, no. The Shrigners are 4,500 gold behind GMR right now. So, GMR definitely is at a significant advantage in this game so far. But with this pause, maybe the Shrigners can try to take a deep breath and try to come back from this game. Right now, it looks like the game is very much in GMR's hands as we speak. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge so far. So because Isaac went for this early executioners and the Berserker's Greaves, he's going to be really behind on that first item. Only has some components picked up right now for that early Phantom Dancer, so it's going to be a while before he gets that 100% crit just because of the early itemization that he had to do against this Mord, but don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Mordekaiser does have the tabbies and the Proto Belt already finished up, but I think if we look at the gold, Isaac is still ahead by about 700 and is sitting on around 1,300. Might be enough to actually finish off that Phantom Dancer once he recalls. So we're going to see the game start to come back. I think we saw the reconnect on that Mundo, so I think that people will be able to come back shortly. Yep, the unpause has been given out. So yeah, so we're going to be back into this game. People are pinging towards this dragon. Shrigners definitely does not want to fall behind 3-0 in terms of the dragon points, so it will be important for them to try and get a hold, get some advantages here in the next minute or so before the dragon spawns. We've seen Wayne actually pick up a level lead against Josh here. Level 11 to Josh's 10. I'm a little bit disappointed that Josh did not pick up an early executioner's calling against Wayne here, just given the amount of healing that he has on that W. I think it would have been pretty beneficial for him. I mean, you see that. I mean, if you had the grievous wounds on him early, it might have been a little bit less healing. It could lead to some more advantageous trades here with that W already maxed out for Wayne. But it looks like he's going to go in for another aggressive trade. Ultimates are going to be popped again by both solo laners. It looks like meanwhile in the mid lane, 3 members of GMR are stacked onto Isaac. The flash did not go over the wall, and so it looks like another kill is going to be going towards GMR. Jamin is doing so much damage on this Jinx right now. Charlie might be the next target here. Yep, that's going to do it. The Super Mega Death Rocket will finish off the Karma as Jinx picks up another kill. She is now 4-0 and 4 with the 900 gold bounty on her. And looks like this third dragon is going to be a Mountain Soul game for GMR, going towards that third dragon, and it looks like 5,500 gold lead is now available. And I think at this point Wayne might be able to beat out Josh in some of these trades pretty substantially, doing some good work here. We're going to see some more action here. It looks like Eric will be roaming up to try and put a gank onto Wayne here, but 3 members of GMR, the bot lane has rotated up, and it looks like Eric's going to get stunned up here, and it looks like he might actually fall to this Silas. Going to get out barely with enough health to save his life. Meanwhile, Mundo has found Isaac in the jungle. He's going to be able to get out for now, but it's not. This Mundo has not taken any damage. They're just going to dive the turret here. Isaac is really low. Ultimate is not available for Jinx just yet. If it was, could have been 1, maybe 2 kills for GMR. So right now, we do see a 6,000 gold lead now for the side of Gimori. Have that 2-tower advantage. That top lane tower is still up, soon to fall, I believe. But if you're Shrig, you're definitely searching for some solutions here. You have this Renekton and Rek'Sai, who are, while they are very strong in the early game, kind of fall off as you get towards these later stages of the game to come back. So it's going to be pretty hard unless you get a couple picks and get some objectives off of them. It's going to be hard for Shrig to come back from this one. And again, as we said, these tiebreakers, while they are important for seeding and stuff, they're not the end of the world necessarily. One of these 2 teams will be playing one of the other 2 teams in the upcoming playoffs on this Monday. This is basically just to determine who plays who. So, yeah. So if Shrig News falls here, they'll play the winner of Cool Kids Club versus SKT, whereas GMR will play the loser of that game. So. Doesn't really matter all too much. I guess if you want to put it, if you want to think of it another way, you could think of like the winner of this game gets to play against TAC instead of Ram Ranchers once they get into the finals. Once again into the semifinals. Once again, don't know if that really matters to them that much, but we're gonna see Eric get caught out again by 3 members of GMR. Root's not gonna hit by Jamin, but it doesn't really matter. He's gonna hit so many crits on these rockets, and it looks like while Josh is going to try to go in to re-engage. Not going to be enough for now. Eric's going to fall first, but they do end up getting Jamin. That's a lot of shutdown gold. Dicho might be in trouble, might be the next victim here. So GMR do end up making a bit of a mistake as their bot lane falls at the hands of the Shrig News. That's a 2-for-1, and that's very good if you're the Shrig News right now. Getting those kills onto Isaac will be really important as we look forward into this game. That Yasuo is going to have to do a lot of work in the mid lane if Shrig News wants to have a chance of coming back. Meanwhile, we might see KJOS get caught out here. Josh is not looking like he's in a good spot. I mean, they're just diving the tower at this point. That's just a free kill for the Mundo. He is so tanky. And once again, we talked about this, but the rest of the entire Shrig News team is all AD. So this Mundo is free to just build straight armor right now. And it looks like Josh might be in a bit of trouble here as Wayne ends up solo killing him on this Silas. So while we did see Josh with an early lead in this game, he ends up falling there solo to Wayne. So it looks like his reign of dominance has ended a little bit. It's going to be working towards that Sterix next after the Black Cleaver. So going to be pretty tanky for some of these fights, but definitely not going to be as useful or have as much damage as Wayne does. Some more towers are going to be taken here by GMR. Jamin is still strong on this Jinx, sorry. Has the Infinity Edge and the Runon's Hurricane already picked up, working towards either that Rapid Fire or Static Shiv with that item in inventory right now. Isaac is still has those 3 kills, but KJOS is definitely falling behind at this point. Ultimate's barely going to miss. Good Arcane Shift by the Ezreal to stay alive for now. But they're just putting pressure all over the map right now. Mordekaiser has basically been on a split push mission in this bot lane ever since the laning phase quote-unquote ended with those towers being taken down. But it looks like the split push is doing some work. Anthony is doing a lot of damage onto that middle bot lane tier 2, whereas the mid tier 2 is already going to fall here. GMR going to pick that one up, but it looks like the bot lane might be in trouble again. They're gonna find a stun on the Jicho here, but here comes Mundo. He is just gonna be so tanky. Gonna take a lot of stuff to take him down. Honestly, every time that they auto, they're gonna kill themselves here. Isaac will go down along with Charlie to this Mordekaiser, and Josh is not even gonna get a single kill onto Jicho, as he's also going to fall. Whereas Mundo will pick up another kill onto that Rek'Sai. So overall in all, it's a 4-for-0 for the side of GMR, as this Dragon is now available, and that's going to be a 22-minute soul for GMR. Once again, a massive, this Mundo is just absolutely massive right now. 5-2-3, but has 200 CS at the 210 CS at the 21-minute mark, and is going to pick up 4 straight Dragons to get himself that extra soul. And this Mountain Soul is going to be huge on the sort of champions that are available for GMR, like this Mordekaiser, like this Sylas, like the Mundo in set. So it's going to be very important for them, and it looks like KJOS is going to get almost one comboed by Wayne Sylas here, and it looks like Isaac is going to try to re-engage. There's only 2 members of GMR actually here, and it looks like Wayne will in fact fall. Kill going once again to Eric in the jungle, and it looks like the Mordekaiser is going to get stunned up here. Nice chain there by Charlie to get that kill, as Jolly tried to get that final Q in to steal that kill. It's not going to be enough, as Isaac picks up another kill in this fight. Baron is going to be the next target for GMR. This Mundo is so strong, 4 levels above the enemy jungle right now, level 15 compared to 11. So while Rek'Sai did have a lot of important ganks in the early game, was not enough to counteract the insane jungle presence of Minkyu in the jungle for GMR. So Isaac still has this fairly significant CS lead, but he is still up about 1.5k gold. But right now the rest of his team is not looking so hot in return. Even Daniel is doing a lot of damage on this set. That has that Deadman's for a lot of damage on that first Q hit that he gets onto that Karma, and basically forces him out of the jungle there. Looks like GMR will be clearing vision up in this Baron pit for now. Yeah, again, the highest level on GMR is the level 13 on the solo laners, and it looks like the Mundo will get caught out here in the jungle, but as 3 members of Strict News, I don't know if Minkyu will actually fall here. Yasuo ultimate is going to land, but he does have that Mundo ultimate up. KJOS' ultimate is going to miss, and even if it did hit, not going to be able to kill him. So despite 3 members of the Strict News collapsing onto Minkyu on that red buff, just not going to die. He is so tanky right now. Deadman's and Thornmail completed, working towards that other armor item, probably a Randuin's or Warmoth's here. KJOS is getting hit by those E's, is now down 100 CS to Jamin's Jinx. So we've seen KJOS with some good performances early on, but he's definitely struggling against Jamin's Jinx in this game. Got a little bit harassed a fair amount in that laning phase with the set, and Jinx poking him out. So it was hard for him to get an early advantage, and so now we see that KJOS is not really going to be able to do that much damage in these fights, especially against these tanky members of GMR. So right now the gold lead is now at about 9,500. So GMR are slowly gaining gold right now. So we hope that I hope that the Strict News are able to stall this game out for a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting. But for now, we're going to see a bit of a 5-man bush stack here. But that ward on the side of GMR, they can see everything. They can see the entire Strict News team right now. And honestly, even with that Mountain Soul buff, it's going to be really hard for any member of GMR to go down. Wayne just picks up the Renekton ult and just gains a bunch of health. So really hard for them to do anything here. We're going to see Wayne going really aggressively right now. Josh is not doing that much on this Renekton as we speak, but it looks like Daniel and Mundo are going to be going really aggressively, diving in between turrets here to try and zone Strict News off of this top inner. So far, Jamin is doing a lot of damage. Might be able to actually solo kill the Ezreal. Does not. Going to E out of the way, but it looks like this inhibitor might be gone as well. Good knock up there by Isaac, but he's going to get caught out here by the stun. And it looks like Mundo is just going to dive straight in. He's going to flash in, finish off Yasuo. Jamin will finish off Ezreal. and it looks like they're going to be diving the fountain a little bit here. They still need to kill that inhibitor to ensure the win. So, well, I don't think they're going to pick up the Baron. I think they might just be able to end the game here. And it looks like Wayne will be able to do a lot of damage, but he might actually fall a little bit low. Going to pop the stopwatch to stay alive, and that's going to be enough. The root's going to land onto the wreck side. Josh also goes down, and Karma is the last one to fall here. That is an ace, clean ace, should I say, for GMR. And in 26 minutes, they're going to look to end this game. It has a 13,000 gold lead, and they're going to be on to the Nexus turrets here. That first Nexus turret goes down along with the second, and in a very dominant performance, 27 minutes in, GMR showing that they're a team to be feared. They're going to dive to the fountain, but it's not even going to matter. They pick up their 6th straight win here at the THSCS, and that is going to be GG. GMR take the 3rd seed, and Strict News will be 4th. So, definitely a very quick game, but I think the Strict News did have a pretty good early game to start off, but looks like they were not able to capitalize at the end of the day. Looks like we might get a couple interviews out before we start the next game. So we're going to see SKT take on Cool Kids Club. SKT opted for red side in this game, so we're going to see Cool Kids Club be on the blue side. We're going to see if we can get any interviews in here. Thank you once again, guys, for coming on to the show. So as we start the so I think we're going to get some of these members into the game shortly. We're going to set up this next lobby. So again, we have Cool Kids Club against SKT. But first, I think we're going to get an interview by some of the members of GMR. Again, have been very dominant early on in this tournament. Pick up their later in this tournament, they pick up their 6th win of they pick up their 6th win of the split in a row. So we're going to start this next lobby, and we're also going to try to set up an interview here. So just stay put for now, but we're going to be off and running very shortly. Going to make sure everything is set up, and we're going to put in the members of the teams here. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so
Hello.
Here we have Jamin and Daniel Cho of GMR. Guys, congratulations on the win. The signature bot lane duo doing some good work here.
Thanks.
So this is your 6th win in a row. I feel like we've been interviewing you guys left and right so far this year, but I mean,
Yes.
I guess we mentioned it before, but Daniel, I guess I want to hear a new perspective from you. Like what did you guys do to turn the tides and get these wins? Hello? Oh, it looks like he left.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah. What's up, Daniel?
Oh, I couldn't hear.
Oh, so
what you're saying.
I just asked, like, how did you guys go from 0-3 to 6-3 now? What did you do to win so much?
I feel like for the first game, like, we didn't get to play because, like, we were late, right? But, like, the first 2 games we lost, I feel like we were just, like, going in, like, one by one and, like, not as a team.
So the synergy definitely improved, do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Jamin, once again, you guys, I mean, the bot lane, you guys put up, once again, you guys carried the early game and definitely did a lot of damage on this Jinx set. What's your guys' strategy coming into the bot lane, and how do you lane against these players?
I mean,
Um,
our strategy was um, playing the game as top side, but now we're playing from the bot side, so I think that's why the bot duo had the better synergy.
Do you guys have any like specific tips and stuff like while communicating while you're in lane together?
um, I mean, I mainly like try to attack them like when they're trying to get cannon minions. So I guess that's the tip.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't know.
cool. So you guys are now third place in the standings. So you guys will play the loser of Cool Kids Club or SKT. Whoever loses this next game on stream will be the team that you guys play against. But secretly, is there any team that are you hoping for one of the teams to lose so you get to play against them, or not?
Anyone.
SKT for sure.
Oh, so you want SKT to lose so you get to play against them? Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frank was talking shit to me, man.
So you want to get some revenge on the Frank's team, I see. Okay. I like to hear that. So yeah, GMR bot lane, is there anything else that you'd like to say to all the people watching at home, or any warnings that you want to display?
Ban 5 ADCs next time.
Ban 5 ADCs. Okay. Well, guys, thank you once again for coming onto the stream, and we'll see you guys in the quarterfinals on Monday.
All right, thank
Okay,
you,
see ya.
Andrew. See ya.
Inky